You're listening to Polymatic.media, episode 83 for September 2021. Welcome to the Polymaticast. Hey, John, how's it going? Hold on, I know how it's going. We just talked for a little bit.
It sounds very similar to the last episode I posted.
I know. I feel
yesterday.
Like yes, because you just released it recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Lots of stuff. It feels, I don't know. Does everything feel like a blur? I mean, even with the new job, I've only been there for 2 months, and it feels like a blur. We literally had like a meeting about a particular topic, like, I don't know, at like 8:30, and I'm having a meeting with other managers at 10, and I'm referencing it as like, I said recently, and they're like, "Alec, we just had a meeting at 8:30," and go, "Yeah, everything feels like a blur." And they go, "Yeah, you're right."
Yeah, it's been a very busy couple of months. For some reason, summer has gone from being like the very silent months to something very, 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 very busy.
Oh, we didn't even put that as topics. We've had some crazy flooding around here. But I mean,
it's one of the first. It's the first one.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, crazy weather.
That's the first one.
Yeah. I only go into the city into Philadelphia like when I need to, and even though I live outside the area, only like when there's a specific reason to go in, I go in. When I worked there, it was very sort of surgical. I got onto the train system, went in, was literally out of my car, waited for the train to show up, got onto the train. 30 minutes in one direction. It basically, the train station was underneath the building that was like tied to the building I was going into underneath the ground. I literally just kind of never had to go outside. And so I could get there, go and be back near home, back in my car and then back home. So like when I worked in the city for about a year, it was very incidental. I never really walked around in the city. And so I saw videos of crazy flooding where you see like Vine Street, and it's attached to signs attached to on a bridge, but it looks like that's the river. No, that's not Vine Street on the bridge, telling you that's the road above. That was the road below.
Yeah. That's now a river.
Yeah, and then you see other things for going in Jersey, where you see the top of the train is literally in the middle of what was nearby the river. And it was just like, it is crazy what happened recently. I don't know where how it is now.
I saw on Twitter that river's name, Schuylkill or whatever.
Schuylkill, yeah.
What?
Schuylkill.
Oh, okay.
It looks
that's
like
not what it says
like,
in letters.
It looks something different, but
anyway, I saw that trending. Schuylkill. I was like, huh, that looks familiar. Let me just have a look at what that is. And I saw like, huh, that looks like Phil. Wait.
Yeah, and you were asking me, it's like, what is this? And I go, oh yeah, that's because, and then also, so apparently there were some bad places here where I live, but because I sort of drive in my sort of circuit to and from work is less than a couple miles. I'm literally kind of just staying in back roads to immediately into the business center, then over to and back and forth. So like during those couple days, I didn't really get any exposure to any of it. But since then, I've gone and driven about, and I didn't see any of the crazy flooding. I guess maybe it's been cleaned up in the last couple days. But yeah, no, it was kind of bad. Is from what I understand around here. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. We had some flooding in June, like unprecedented flooding, which is kind of like what this is. We had some storms that basically just deposited the entire cloud's worth of water onto the ground. So yeah, that was fun.
It feels like biblical times. That's what it describes.
Nah, this is totally man-made.
Well, biblical weather, I mean, that is.
We messed up.
Oh no, this is totally on us. Yeah, absolutely. And by on us, not specifically you and I.
Oh, wait. You don't have a giant like weather machine
Weather
in your
machine you
basement?
broke?
Wait.
Did
Oh,
your
I thought we
Arduino
were
board need
planning for like the end
replacement?
of the world.
Is that why you have so many 3D printers?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's like I use a toaster to build a Stargate in my basement, right?
There is. I'll have to find the TikTok. There's somebody who is been crafting his own Stargate with a bunch of panels. It looked kind of slow. It was kind of neat. I didn't think to.
Yeah.
I liked it. I didn't think to put that in our list of stuff. I'll
Anyway,
find it for you.
it's been interesting weather, and we've had nothing but rain in the last couple of weeks, and it's like the summer has passed, and there's like normally it would be so warm that I would have to put on the AC. I bought an AC last year, and I haven't used it yet this year. Well, I used it for
Heresy.
1 day to test if it still worked.
European with air conditioner. What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with me? Yeah, but like because of the way that the balcony is oriented, like my workspace is right next to the balcony, so I don't have something to make shade on my balcony.
Got it.
So it just cooks everything that's on the balcony. So my plants on my balcony die every year. So I was trying to do vegetables last year, and they got burned to a crisp. I think I had like a couple of peppers that survived, but none of the pumpkins lived to be big pumpkins.
Have you thought about? And again, I know you utilize the space in your condo already, but have you considered maybe like a small little hydroponic or something, some tiny?
And no, I don't have the space for that.
Yeah.
It's just I probably do have the space for that, but I just don't want to.
Right.
It's like I have wooden floors, and I don't want any water problems. Already had like an incident with like the heating water that came out of my hallway closet, because there's like the heating system is in the hallway, and like we have a heating system for the entire apartment complex, but they have like the water that's in there, it's like really nasty. It's like dead. They call it dead water, and it smells so bad. It smells so bad.
Yeah,
And one of the pipes burst. Like they have a filter in it, and they forgot to close the bottom part. So instead, there's like a overpressure thing in there, and because there was some overpressure in the system, it popped in my apartment. So that thing just drilled a hole through metal. It just popped out.
Right, the pressure.
Yeah, and then I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I think I still have videos somewhere of me in the hallway.
Oh
shouting,
yeah.
"Oh no!"
Oh, so that's what that was. That when that freaked out that one time. Okay, got it. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, water does go rancid. So, like, leaving water for 100 years in the cistern doesn't mean it's good water.
No, this is not for drink. This is not drinking water. This is water that they use to heat the thing. But there's like
radiators. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So
but there's some evaporation that happens somewhere.
Right.
There's some leaks that happen somewhere, and they have to top it off with water. The problem is the water in our area is so full of minerals that it just adds more minerals to that water, so it becomes a little bit thicker.
Right, and it gets crystallized, and then it closes the interior of the pipes and all that stuff.
Oh, no, those are still fine. It's just like it just deposited everything in my hallway closet. So it broke a couple of things. There's some books that are gone, and there's some wooden panels I had to replace. But like it's fine. It's fine. It works now. Anyway,
my whole point about water goes rancid is because the biology, what's in it or whatever's in its lining comes out, leaches
there's nothing
out.
living in there. There's just nothing.
Well,
living
probably not with all those minerals.
It's dead. That's why they call it dead water.
Yeah.
It's really disgusting.
And if you don't flush the system and pressure test it, then it will continually build problems.
Anyway, right, so we had a homeowners association meeting, and I really, really don't like to go there because those people, they have like The people that go there are the people that have grudges. I'm just going there to make sure that we don't get like a bill for like 60K like suddenly. Like, that's the only reason I go there, is just to make sure that they don't mess up and they don't agree to something really stupid. So they're going to replace the heating things on the top of the building this year, which is something and we had to agree to it like on Wednesday. Anyway, crazy weather.
Yeah.
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 So they expect the management company for the homeowners association. They expect this next winter to be very strong. For some reason, I don't know why, but that's what they said. I was like, yeah, we might want to have this fixed before there's a winter that is going to be much harsher than we are used to.
And look, if that's
the weather here has been weird for the last 10 years. It's gotten weirder.
My whole point, the comment I was going to make was that if that's the driving force, even if that's not true, to help you sort of motivate people to fix existing problems, or at least reinforce the system so that existing problems don't become actual problems.
Well, they've been fixing those machines for years now, and they should, like, they put it
Just
on there.
replace
It's like,
them.
we have to do it now. And there
Yeah.
was some, anyway, details. It was interesting. They came up with some really weird arguments. Like, one of the guys said, well, we need some filtration system to get the oxygen out of the water. I'm like, if you're taking the oxygen out of the water,
It's not
you're
water anymore.
It's not
hydrogen.
water anymore. It's hydrogen, and then we have a bomb. I don't think you know what this means. I don't think you know how any of this works.
Yeah.
They just want to get like the nitrogen and other stuff out of the water. Like, they want to take all the trace gases out of the water. Yeah. But then you have a solvent.
Well, then what you do is you just flush the system.
Yeah. But they're trying to take all the minerals and stuff out, and I understand why they're doing that. But it's just that the way they're talking about it to people there. Well, there was an actual chemist there, which is kind of funny. It was like, wait, you don't know how this works.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
the weather has been crazy, and I'm kind of getting worried that it's gonna be worse this year, because the summer has been very bad, and last time the summer was very bad was like, I think it was like 10 years ago. Yeah, it might have been 10 years ago, and I know that there's a solar cycle for like 11 years. So maybe we're gonna get a very strong winter. That might be a thing. I might have to prepare for that.
I can tell you it's September and it's still hot.
Not
It's a
over
little-
here. Well, it is.
I mean, it's
warming up now. We're getting summer. It's September.
Well, so after we had those rains, so at least where I live, it's weird because the flooding will happen, but I was very much unaffected by it. When I went into the office on Thursday, right? So Wednesday is kind of the night of when all the stuff happened here. And Thursday I went in, the power was out in the building. But the office was online because they have a generator. And so it was weird because my team was trying to remote into their systems and they were all not powered on.
Uh-oh.
So we had to figure out how to actually, IT had some creative ways of figuring out how to feed, the power from the running from the generator in the places, areas, so that everyone can get up and running and working. But it's funny because that's a mile and a half away from where I live. So that work is on a whole different grid compared to me. So the residential stuff was up and running. So it was easier for me to go home and virtually connect into the not my physical machine, but the virtual machine for me.
Mm.
So this is one of those cases where people are working at home. We're a little inconvenienced, but it was a different kind of inconvenience. But they could still keep up running and working. So yeah, it's just interesting. You really kind of get to know your town more than you should in these moments.
Yeah. Do you have like a situation? Do you have like a way of getting out if you need to get out?
What do you mean?
Weather? If there's a weather problem, like that's going to be, well, it's going to be more and more extreme over the next couple of years.
Oh, sure. So I mean, where I live is not. It's not close to the coastline of, let's say, like, so Philadelphia, is sort of has some rivers and stuff like that. They have some other major rivers in other places, which people don't live exactly right up to the edge of. The farther in this state.
I don't just mean like river flooding, but like I mean stuff like the Colts thing that happened in Texas. Like you could have another one of those polar vortexes.
Oh yeah, I mean
stuff.
I don't have solar, right? I don't have any solar or anything like that. Now, with that being said, because of the owners club I'm part of, we definitely have some members who are definitely have solar. And I'm sure some of them would be more than welcome to like let people crash there if they needed. Probably not like 400 people, but definitely a few here and there. So I mean, like if I needed to go to a place to be that wasn't safer, have power, whatever. Do I have big old battery packs sitting around? No, not really.
I've been looking at getting one of those Jackeries that Linus Tech Tips have been.
Yeah, I saw that. I get some.
I kind of
want
to get one.
But they're like a couple $1,000. But like, I mean, how long does
they're not that expensive?
I thought there was
like
one
$1,000 or something like that.
There's one that was like the one that's really kind of nice. It has the solar on it, but the solar is slow. It's more like that's like an extreme benefit to van life. That's not for like.
Okay, so like a cheap one that I found was like a Jackery, which is a 333 watt, which is more than enough to charge a phone and a laptop. Is 476 euros.
Yeah,
so it's not that bad.
I don't know if it was Linus or something else that I saw. I came across where I saw some deal because there is someone who I got a supercharger, not a supercharger, one of those sort of super like plug chargers for your phone or whatever it is with starts with a G. What's that new metal that they're using now?
No idea what you're talking about.
Not galvanite, something like that. There is a particular. I'd have to go log into the Kickstarter. It doesn't matter. So they have. They've been really. Obviously they're a Kickstarter, but they're a company that's coming out of China, and they started. They have some other new things they're doing, and they have probably like what you're calling like a Jackery that's like really. Like can take solar and do all that other stuff, and that is. But the pricing on that is like nearly $1,000, if not more.
I have a backpack with a power cell in it.
Yeah, but those things is like I have battery banks that are pretty good for like a phone, not my laptop, right? I have one that came with my old laptop that won't work.
So I think basically if you want something like this, you need something like it's gonna run up to like $600 to $1,000 to get something like this.
Mm-hmm. And even then, that is.
And you still need a power cell.
And that is like super great for van life. That is not super great for like you. I mean, yes, in a pinch, it will help. It's better
I
than
think something
nothing.
like this. I think something like this would be great for me for like a emergency situation.
Right.
Because the balcony gets power, gets lots of light, even in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
So I could just set up my solar panel and survive for a couple of weeks. On noodles.
Yeah, I mean,
I think at some point the preppers had it the right way.
I mean, I don't have like what we call like a go bag or a paranoid kit or anything like that. With that said, my
Maybe it's
father,
time.
my father has like a pellet stove. Like, he's got stuff where,
Yeah.
even when I grew up as a teenager, he had the HVAC system in the house, but somewhere in there, he just decided for the fireplace that he was going to put an iron stove in the living room. So that's what he did. And this is a reasonably small house, smaller than where I live now. And he did that, and it was great when we didn't necessarily use the HVAC system. It wasn't like he was being cheap. And he's like, oh, and he used to chop wood. That was sort of his physical activity. So he would chop wood for the stove, and we'd have a pile of stuff out on the side of the house, and he would pile up, and that was it. That's what he'd do. He'd chop wood in the driveway, and then we carried up, and then we put it, and he still does that. And then what we would do is we'd just go out. I wouldn't really I don't have the muscles for it anyways for chopping the wood, but my father would do it. And we would, and there would be some days where I'm like, I'm gonna start the fire, and I'm gonna cook eggs or an omelet on it or whatever it was. Like you had a stovetop. It's like the kind of thing you find in a log cabin, except that the flue was going up through the chimney. So my father still had he now has like a pellet stove, but it very much doesn't need electricity. He can basically heat the whole house with it.
I'm gonna ask some people that I know that are really into the prepper stuff. I'm gonna see if they have some recommendations. See if have a look at that, because I'm just the whole thing going on right now with all the weird weather we're having. And not just over there. It's just also over here. We're having some weird weather patterns.
Yeah, I mean, it's not anything to be. I mean, certainly it's stuff to be concerned about. I don't want to frame it as get paranoid. No, it's something to be worthy of considering. Yeah, it's super.
Oh, there was a dike that broke through like 2-3 kilometers from here.
Well, I mean, in your case, you guys are very good with water management.
Yeah, you'd think so, but the dike just broke.
Yeah.
It flooded a piece of land for the
So
farmland.
the name of the company that I got this really nice charger, right? The kind of charger they include with your cell phones anymore, right? This thing can output 100 watts over USB, so I could literally power my laptop with it. I mean, my laptop I got to replace at this point, but yeah, so Super Tank Pro, Zendure, or whatever it is the name of the company. There's a particular. They were one of the first to come up with using a particular new metal. I'm gonna look in the description. I'm not gonna hold us up in this
conversation. Let's not do research during the podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get back to people that are listening about John's road down Prepper Lane.
My whole point of bringing this company up is they ship me some kind of email saying, hey, we have a new battery pack, on the specs on it look wonderful, but you're still looking at $1,000.
We'll look at it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been selling some books. I got the new books printed, and I got a new printer, and the printer turned out to be a lot cheaper than the old printer, 1/3 the price. And I've been actually selling books, so that's good.
Yeah, I know you keep saying Alan, why a bunch of people just bought books? What's wrong? Something's not right here. You're not used to this. I mean,
somebody told me that as long as it's not face roll on the keyboard at reallybadword.com, and really bad word is a really bad word, then it's probably fine. So I'm
look, if you make money from it,
what
if they buy your books to burn them? I mean, you're still making money.
Yeah, but these are I think they're actually scammers, because those people are actually scammers, but because they're trying to get the documents.
They're just gonna scan your whole thing or take the electronic and reprint it and make money for you.
Oh, I know the PDFs for my public. For my digital version have already been posted on some Russian site. I know, and that's fine. I don't agree with it, but like there's no way for me to stop this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like selling the physical books is a way for me to make something real and then selling it. Just really nice. I really like it. This is it's a fun activity, and I get to ship it out because I don't trust the printer. Well, I do trust the new printer, but I didn't trust the old printer. I'm pretty sure that they haven't been fulfilling certain books orders. I know from a couple of people that have ordered books that never showed up. So yeah. So I'm just done with that kind of stuff. Anyway, so yeah, it was fun actually selling books. And I didn't sell that many in January, but that's probably because the price was too high. So I went down from $35 to 16.
Well, I mean,
And I'm actually making €1 on it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're breaking even, that's positive.
Yeah, so I'm scheduling the price to go up to 20 soon enough, and then I can like have like a stack of them in the hallway closet, away from the water,
Away from where the problem was.
Yeah. No, it's probably gonna stay in my living room, but like I never use my living room. I just there's no one that visits.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to walk into, you've been in the living room of where I live right now, and right near the basement door, I basically took what was behind the couch, and I put the desk there, and you've seen the pictures, right?
I've seen the pictures.
Behind that, between that and the wall, I have basically, because in really no good place other than putting them down here, I have the piles of gear that's like ready to grab and go, put in a car and go do interviews, right? So I have the C-stand sitting in the corner, and I have lighting gear that's in the bags, it's folded up, that's packed away where I don't have it pulled out for like my setup for my streamer setup.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, again, who cares? My roommate doesn't care. He just flops down onto the couch, gets drunk, naps, goes outside, gets drunk with the neighbors, comes in while he's still drunk to sort of sober up enough to get upstairs and just watches TV and basically snores on the couch. Like, he doesn't care about the other open space in the room. Like, he just doesn't care. It's where he sits down to read a book or where he sobers up. That's it. So the rest of the space, 30-40% in the back there, is all me just sort of, it's not pretty, and no one's coming over anyway, so I don't really care. It's my office space now. So
Yep.
Anyway,
so books, fun.
Yeah.
I had some trouble with I've had trouble with this software before, but like it's the way to change the speed on the GPU fans. So I have Asus GPUs, and it's called GPU Tweak, and there's a version 2 and there's a version 3. And I installed version 2 on my new PC, and that caused some trouble where I couldn't launch any application because it started, killing the application every single time. And that was not good. So I uninstalled it, and I installed version 3, which is supposed to be better. And I got new PC for my art PC, which is the PC I was talking about last time, and it swapped out, and I now have 64 gigs in my my art PC, which is great. Only problem is that I was having issues where I started streaming, and it would kill the entire machine. It would lock up the entire machine. And it turned out it was that software again. So GPU Tweak 3 from Asus, garbage. I just uninstalled it, and it's like, okay, I don't want to bother with this anymore. I'll just let the default settings go. Just let it. If it's 43 degrees, that's fine. That's fine. I don't want to bother with this anymore. And which is actually fine. 43 degrees is that's low enough for this video card. And I don't think it's supposed to turn on until like 50 or 60 for the fans to turn on. But I don't want it to go on like that sound I've had before, which is annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So there is apparently an application called Afterburner from MSI, which is supposed to be a lot better. So I'm gonna try that next. But that's like, I'm just tired of manufacturers' software, like stuff from Gigabyte or Asus. They're pretty good at making hardware, except for Gigabyte because they have exploding.
Well, that's a recent thing because Gigabyte used to be really. Really recall Gigabyte stuff being very good.
Yeah, we'll get to that in the links section later.
I know that's in your links. That's the whole thing. But I mean, I would always think about Gigabyte. That was in the pile of reliable and nice quality stuff. Obviously, clearly that's changed. Asus, same thing. But it's funny because I think about this from.
I'm happy about the video cards. The video cards are great. They work fine. It's just that the software that they supply with it is not great.
Mm-hmm. Where I was going on this is sort of, and I think this is unique to a manufacturing problem where a brand does something, they do something really well, and then they actually kind of need to be good at other areas, and they sort of farm that stuff out. And that's where you sometimes have problems, especially if they're not like farming it out to a specific software company or they're just not owning the responsibility of that internally. And then the sort of the analogous is I go into the sort of the auto company. So in the U.S., most of your major auto companies, they're more assembly factories than they are. They put a design out, then they put that design out, and those parts get manufactured by third parties. And then they assemble the car, and then they sell the car. And they take not just a back seat, but a back seat to the back seat to the back seat of like the software or a lot of the things that go on. And all that engineering effort is really about the Lego pieces, right? And assembling your kit. And that is, you might be lucky if one car company at least takes some onus or responsibility for at least one of their car models, for example, that they put the most actual internal attention on. And that is kind of what has happened over the course of 100 plus years of an auto industry. And so I bring this up as an example because you don't realize how much complexity is in your car just to get it to work. Right? I was watching. Did you see that video? Was it Destin? Went to that company with the carburetor. How carburetors work.
Yeah, I've seen some of his videos about the carburetor, but I haven't seen the recent stuff.
No, he did a new one where a company.
Like I said, I haven't seen his new stuff.
Okay, yeah. But so when you find it, it's really good. But I can't think of the name of the company. But there was a company who still makes carburetors, right, for engines, and they have found a way to sort of create complexity in an analog manner, but there is so much to it, just even in something like that. And they still make. I can't think of the name of the company, but that's a good video. I didn't think to put that on this list, but that's a good one to watch. That goes back to the point is that you don't realize just to make these things work well, there's so much complexity. When you farm it out to a third party, sometimes the manufacturer has the brand on that vehicle. Like same thing goes with laptops, right? Origin laptops. Origin doesn't really.
No, there's some Chinese company that they just rebrand from. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's a German company I thought that they rebrand from mostly.
Which is probably a Chinese company that they rebranded from.
Right. Yeah. So there's just so much level of abstraction away from it was the larger point.
That's kind of scary because if you think about it, like with all these things that are internet connected, like at some point, if your toaster's not going to work because it's because there's no internet at the moment, right? Or that's going to be a bummer. But if your car's not going to work because there's no internet connection, that's a pickle. Right? And that's why I'm looking at those power supply stuff, and there's all these like UPSs that have like special like internet connectivity and stuff. I'm like, what is the license problem going to be at some point where they turn out that they can't, it doesn't work anymore, and not because of a hardware problem, but because of a software problem. And I would like to maybe I should just build my own power unit to
Another
be
project.
just completely analog. It's only analog.
It's
That's probably a good
project.
idea.
Another project.
Yeah. Was it Goal Zero? By any chance?
What?
Goal Zero?
I don't know what Goal Zero is.
It's they do like solar panels and stuff. I think I heard something about Goal Zero recently. You said it was with a G. Anyway.
Oh no! There was Zendor or whatever it is. They were one of the first to come up with, and they had a Kickstarter. That's how I found out about it. Then I bought whatever particular charger. I didn't get the super tank. I got just the charging unit, which allows sort of. They're using a particular metal. I want to say galvanized metal, but I don't know if that was exactly it. But they found a way to kind of utilize that in a way that is provides better throughput without heat generation and stuff like that. But I was also checking out, they do have their super tank, but then I'd have to check my emails. I mean, I usually trash it if I'm not going to spend $1,000 on something, but they definitely have one of those big old battery things that also have solar attachments and stuff like that. And I got it I don't think it's publicly available on their website.
There was a video from Jerry Rig Everything. He's building a Hummer into an electric Hummer. Like a military Humvee into
yeah, I understand. He's electrifying it. Yeah.
I
don't follow his channel directly, but I do see stuff through his friend Dan, through What's Inside. I occasionally watch their stuff. I don't watch it all the time.
I like his electric conversion stuff more than I like the tearing apart a phone, which is like so destructive, and I don't like to watch it. I skip those videos. I'm just here for the electric and the
for some things
and the solar panel stuff and his stuff that he did with his garden and stuff like that. That's interesting to me. Maybe he should just spin that off into his own little channel. I think that could be a good one for his own maker channel. Anyway, so I heard you got a game that I've been very enthusiastic about.
You and the whole like maybe easily a half dozen, if not a dozen people in my life are like, Alan, you really like Stardew Valley. You should get Stardew Valley. Alan, Stardew Valley. So I just said, you know what the hell, I'll buy it. So I did. I like it. I don't have any kind of addiction path to it, so I can go in and do a couple things.
Yeah, you can just do a day and then.
Yeah, I don't, and that's basic. I'm not obsessed about it. That being said, I also haven't logged into Animal Crossing in a while. Your villagers are
going to be very angry with you.
I know. I think I used to do it at least once a month. I think it's been 2 months since I've logged in, so maybe I do that tonight. But that being the case, if I do anything, it's like few minutes of Minecrafting. If I had an abundance on a Saturday and needed to decompress, maybe I do pick a project and I do something. My mistake was I started fishing, and then I built a little, like, I went a lake, but like a pool, and I was fishing out of that thing. And so I started feeding the cats, and then I warp up to the tower, and then they were just in the tower with me. And I come in and I warp in and I hear nothing but like cats meowing at me. So what I did is I sort of unreleased them all, and then I warped them down. I went down the ladder under the ground, and then I made them all sort of, stay to get them out. So I just leave a few. But my mistake is I was fishing, and then I was feeding the cats, and then more cats show up. So
because you multiply the cats.
Yeah, but I thought maybe if I had them in the tower, maybe the phantoms wouldn't show up as often. And
no, that's just creepers.
Oh, they just don't. The creepers hide.
Yeah, creepers are
Oh,
afraid of
okay.
cats.
Well, they're in the village. They show up in the village, right? So they're not. And the village is sort of this main village I spend most of my time in is walled in. So that being the case, they spawn golems everywhere. So
Yeah.
like it's well protected. In fact, I usually shoot. I arrow outside of the place. I don't light it all the way up around intentionally because there's dark areas and a ton of, skeletons and and I just from the top of the tower, I just sort of arrow them, and then when the day comes around, I just go and clean them up, get all the experience points. It's actually a fun thing. So
Hmm.
anyhow, so Minecraft is like
Stardew.
go into doing that, and Stardew I play a little bit. I did the first couple times I played like inside the weekend that I got it, like maybe 10 hours, 12 hours or
Yeah.
something like that.
So you must
At
be
this point,
around. Let's see. You must be around.
I went from spring. I'm now in fall.
Oh yeah. You must be in fall. Yeah.
Okay, and that's where I'm at right now. I did the
That's about 12
jellyfish
hours.
thing.
What?
Um, the jellyfish festival thing. I
Mm-hmm.
did the maybe it's the fall festival where I was supposed to set up a display. I didn't know it when I went in, so whatever crap I had in my inventory at the time is how I set up the display. I talked to the wizard so far. I have not. I mean, there's some people like me. I haven't like found a girlfriend or anything like that in the game yet. Um,
Don't go for Penny. She cheats on you.
does she really? Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Well,
Yeah.
the one what was the fortune teller was trying to tell me. I think maybe she said Penny. But I think
Didn't.
Leo was the one I started to just sort of.
I think Leah is married, right?
No,
She's
she's single in the game. Penny and Leah are single, at least as I recall it. But again, these are like side things I want to do. Maybe I have not investigated the mines too much. I have not been able to achieve anything for Dimitri. Um, I don't have enough income that I keep because I keep using it to like, I haven't even built a coop yet. Like, I just
yeah.
haven't been able to kill the logs or the boulders yet. Like,
Yeah,
I
you need
haven't.
some better gear for that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing is I just sort of been grinding a little bit so that I can upgrade so I can go from copper to steel and all that stuff. But I come in, do a little thing. It's just an
I think
extra
it's
game I can play
copper,
a little.
gold, and then it's iridium.
I after I got the copper, I can upgrade my stuff to steel, but they're expensive, right? I
Oh,
have to
yeah,
make
maybe
the
it's still,
ores.
still in between. I think there's like 4 steps.
Like I have 5 iron bars, so I was gonna at least do the
Just
pickaxe
really
to
interesting.
steel.
That what do you start with then? Like what is the material
I
that the
know,
pickaxe
right?
is
I
made
got
out
it.
of?
I would think, wouldn't copper be soft? It doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense. How's this an upgrade path? So I did
it's a
that to the
game.
pickaxe. I know. And then I will eventually do that to the axe, and then eventually I'll get them up to steel, and then I will eventually take the rusty sword that I have, and I'll see if I can do anything with that.
So
Uh,
I have 2 playthroughs on my Switch that
mhm.
both now have the Statue of Perfection from Grandpa.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I haven't I haven't really gone through a lot of those iterations yet.
It's like
But
after 2 years, you get Grandpa comes back. It's like he leaves a letter on his grave, which is kind of interesting.
from Grandpa. I thought you were talking about George. Right.
No,
I
no.
forgot.
Actual
Yeah.
Grandpa.
So can I fix up the damaged warehouse?
That's not a warehouse. It's a community center. Yes, but you have to go in, and then you see.
No,
You
no,
see
no,
one
no.
of the Junimos.
That I've already sort of unlocking the alien things. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the one that's on the farm, that's in the corner. There's
Oh,
like a.
that's not a warehouse. That's a greenhouse.
Okay, got it. It's broken. It's
Yes, you can
not-
fix it up. It's one of the rewards for the completion of the thing. But the thing is, if you want to complete like the greenhouse in the first year, you have to do that before it starts.
the
Before it's
community
winter.
center stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's community center stuff you have to start working on.
So
As soon
what
as
I've been
possible.
doing is I sell I just kind of keep building up the inventory in the chests so that I can eventually go in and unlock stuff. So then, I know there
Oh,
are certain
if you move your
seasons.
mouse over the items, you can see if there's something in the there's a little icon that starts wiggling,
Oh,
and that shows
okay.
you if it's for the community center, if it's needed for the community center.
Oh, okay, good. Well, then that'd be a good thing to
And you
check
need to
out.
start fishing.
I've been doing it a little bit.
It's so annoying.
It is so annoying, and that's what makes you think, oh, fishing, and at least even in Minecraft is easier. But to
Yeah.
the point, I reject anyone who's like, oh, you like Minecraft, you must like Stardew Valley, and I'm like, it's it's not the same thing.
It's definitely not the same thing, but it has some
I know it has some elements,
it
and
has
the
some
people that
elements.
say that are people who have not actually played Minecraft for more than 2 seconds or at all. They just abstracting from understanding. They don't really know. So that being said, it's not an argument, but to that point, I don't mind it. It's not bad of a game. I have not played it in my car yet. I've not done that.
Yeah, let's not
I,
do that.
uh,
But it's very good on the Switch because on the Switch you can just play a game and let it like
yeah. See, I don't ever. I play my Switch docked. I don't play my Switch out in the wild.
yeah.
So
I put my TV in my bedroom, so as soon as like the whole Corona stuff happened, I was like, okay, I'm taking you to the bedroom. I'm putting a thing on the wall to hang the TV from. That's it.
yeah.
And I hooked up my Switch to that.
Yeah. So I
It's
mean,
great.
I don't hold my Switch. I have it docked. That's how I play
Mm.
Animal Crossing or whatever. So anyhow, I bought it, and I spent a bunch of hours on it, and now I get it, and I'm discovering things, and that's it. And I will go and play it in a very small sort of. What I'm not looking for is a large commitment to any single game.
Yeah.
I'm looking for to be able to play for half hour, or something at a time, so that I can kind of uh, reduce my energy for the night and then go to sleep. Right? That's
Yeah.
the kind of gameplay I want. I don't want something
That's
that
what
I.
I've been using Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing and that kind of stuff for, and even
Uh,
Subnautica.
maybe it's because my relationship to Animal Crossing started during the lockdown, but I felt a need to kind of go in there and find things to do, where there isn't a lot to do in Animal Crossing, though there are some when you run into Whisper or whatever the ghost,
Yeah, but
and
those are yeah. I
those
don't
are
think that.
annoying things. Like
Yeah,
you can never find the fourth
I
one.
I don't like the guilt trip that they put you into. Like you haven't been there for a month, and then
Yeah,
they start like complaining about you not being there for a month. I wasn't there for like 2 days, and they were like, "Oh, you weren't there for a while." Ooh.
yeah. It's like, oh, we thought you were. Yeah, I know. To me, I'm not that sensitive to that stuff. But the point is,
It just annoys
um,
me because I know the trick.
yeah.
They're
So
guilt tripping.
I just, I can play it. I can go in there every once in a while. It's not a large motivator. It used to be the thing I depended on during sort of my therapy to find an outlet for something, because there wasn't really anything better
Mm.
for me at the time. So yeah, yeah, I don't know. I mean, where I'm at with these things is I want to be able to play something a little bit, but I can kind of just walk away from it. And so like I'm got stuff enough established in Minecraft, I can do that and go in and you
Mm.
know farm a bunch of pumpkins and sell them and get more emeralds, and then level up something. I can grind a little bit. I can expand out a bunker or something a little bit. And again, it's sort of I don't have to have a large commitment to it. And that's the way I like to play the game right now. So,
Mm.
so I bought Stardew, and now that all of you can stop bothering me about that, I must have Stardew because now I have it, and I don't have an obsession to it, but I like playing it a little bit here and there. So,
Mhm.
okay, that was a long tangent.
It's fine. It's fine. Want to
No.
do go through the fun stuff?
Yeah, why not? What do you got?
Okay, I got Gamers Nexus Factory Tours, Polymatic link /10B, so 10B. And I've got Gamers Nexus Gigabyte Power Supplies. They explode. Polymatic link /10C. for
That
those,
caused
so.
a controversy that I heard, at
Yep,
least
yep,
on,
yep.
on,
And
on
he's
Linus
got
Tech
more and
Tips.
more videos about it, so
Yeah.
It's probably good for sales, or not for sales, but for like
views.
views. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I get the whole point of them putting them through the effort is not to generate views in a false fashion, but like
No.
be informative.
But
So.
he likes to bring it up whenever whenever something is about hardware reliability, and then he brings up those few video frames of like the exploding power supplies over and over and over again. So it's a meme at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure Gigabyte has cut them off. So, yeah.
Well, Gigabyte has earned his ire, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so that being the case, I have something. I don't know. It's like I don't know how you explain. It's not a documentary, but it was just like something Vox had did about the 8-bit arcade font. It's kind of an old video. Polymatic.link/10G.
10G, double
Yeah.
5G.
Yeah. Quadruple the vaccination.
What do you mean?
You got your full signal 5G.
Yeah, so it's double.
5G. Well, yeah, I know. It doesn't matter. Double vaxxed, right, is the 5G, so that's why I say quadruple. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need worth explaining. Wasn't that funny?
Okay. So Thought Emporium has a new studio. Polymatic.media/10D.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to see like they're landing on their feet. Like, yeah, good.
Interesting. I don't know that I know this channel, but clearly they got some interesting things. So probably a channel worth checking out.
Yep.
It's a very long video though.
Yeah,
so,
it's very long. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is probably another TikTok. They just can't agree. I was sharing this as reference to something at work, and a bunch of people, and I was just sort of paraphrasing it, and a bunch of people will laugh at the same thing. But I was reflecting on, this came from a TikTok, Polymatic.link/10H. I think I shared her in the past, but there's just another one that it's like nails it.
Last time.
Yeah, last time. Did I just share that same one last time?
No, you used different things.
Share the TikTok, but
yeah.
she nails them every once in a while. So this is another good one.
Okay, next one is somebody I think I've linked before. He used to be on the Idea channel. And that's Dirt on the Camera Lens, about the effect of putting blood and other stuff on the camera lens during movies. So Polymatic.link/10E for that one.
Yeah, and
it's long.
It's very long, and I watched parts of it, and I was interested in his sort of commentary on lens flares. And I mean, I know that they're sort of abused by a particular filmmaker right now because he loves them.
I don't think he does that anymor.
Well, yeah, I think he's got a lot of backlash from it. But he really talks about where the initial point of where it started and how they became this sort of, I wouldn't say meme, but this trend. But it's interesting, where they were originally used, it made sense. How we were using them later in Star Trek movies, they're getting abused. So, anyhow. That being the point, it is a very long video.
Fringe.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that too. But same filmmaking company, production company. But still very, very good video if you have the patience for it. So, okay, so this is just a corridor digital video. They came up with something I thought was kind of funny. It was more recent than their usuals. Polymatic.link/10i as an internet.
And what's the name of the thing?
Lightsabers for Men.
Mm-hmm. So I've been playing Phasmophobia, and this is a video of some other people, Captain Sparkles and people playing Phasmophobia. And then there's a new update for it, and it's been very, very fun to play. Lots of fixes, and it's a lot more playable than it used to be.
Looks creepy.
Oh yeah, it's very creepy. So we did a session this morning, and I called the group Gouda Amateur Paranormal Society. I don't know if you've heard about TAPS, which is like the Ghost Hunters team name
Okay.
The Atlantic Paranormal Society. The Atlantic Paranormal Society. The should not be in there. But anyway, so we called it GAPS because it's funny. Anyway, this is Captain Sparkle's Polymatic link /10F for Phasmophobia. Very fun game to play.
Yep. Okay, so the genius tool Lego wants you to forget. I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting. I'm not sure that I would have any use for this. I don't think I
would call it genius.
Yeah, I would call it genius. But look, I'm copying their title. So that's besides the point. Polymatic.link /10J. If you're into Legos, it's kind of interesting to watch.
Okay. I got one last one. Chomp. Polymatic link /10K. Did you watch this one?
I did, yes. And then he says, "Oh shit."
Anyway, so Alan, where can they find you?
You don't have to find me. I'm not anywhere. I'm not on the internet.
Okay. I'll link it. I'll link it in the description. You can find me on Twitter at webdevy WEBDEVVIE. For feedback, you can reach us at podcast@polymatic.media. Our music is by Seance, which you can find at Polymatic link /EK. Our Twitter is The Polymatic. Our website is Polymatic.media. And I hope you tune in next time. It is Polymatic.media, and I hope you tune in next time. And perhaps Alan will read off his Twitter again.
Or not. It's not like you can't put my name in and find it everywhere.
Or what if I just copy paste recordings from the last time?
Yeah, that's likely the case.
Yeah, I could just, you know what? I can make a button that does this. I could instead of doing this, I can just have it say, "You can find me at."
When Jefferson was here and we would do our sort of name introductions, and he would never consistently just edit. He would sort of always screw it up. He wouldn't just say his name, and he'd always go into a rant. And we're at the very first few seconds of the show, we gotta get past that so we can actually get into the show. But no, he just wants to dominate it with stupidity, and literally Bernhard got so irritated by. He turned in Jefferson turning into a lame shtick, which you couldn't even execute very well every single time. Bernhard sent me a clip that says Jefferson, we just fucking say your name or something like that in one of his sort of feedback commentaries to this. So I'm going to use that as a soundboard thing. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." So I don't have it loaded up because he's never here. But that's a thing where Jefferson, will you please just say your fucking name?
Alan, would you please just say your fucking Twitter handle?
It's my last name.
I'm gonna make that. You know what? That's a good idea. Alan, would you please just say your fucking Twitter handle?
Do you want me to get Bernhard to do something?
What?
Do you want me to get Bernhard to whip you up?
No, it's fine. If I can handle that. I can curse like a sailor, so it's fine.